here.
Sorry, I forgot to mute you. You need to say all that again. I forgot to unmute you.
The Spook of Madness.
The Spook of Madness.
Take two. Well, I'm Matt Krager.
I'm Ben.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, damn it, you suck.
Do it again.
I'm Ben.
I can't get the We're on our game today.
We'll work on it for next week.
We rehearsed. You should have seen the rehearsal. It was great.
Well, I only have like 50,000 switches up here.
Thanks, Wizard of Oz.
Thanks, Aaron. So, this is the Spook of Madness. We're going to do fun Halloween-related movies for the next 3 weeks.
Are they going to be spooky?
They're going to be spooky.
Let it be spooky and scary.
Spooky, scary. Werewolf
like a scary movie at the VHS store.
What? All right.
Keep the camera moving.
So, we're going to do a movie.
No one likes the dead air except for me.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yes, Count Chocula.
So, we're going to do a movie that I don't think anybody watching this probably seen.
Are on their radar.
I barely saw it.
Or was even aware of that. We're not doing the first Chucky movie, Child's Play.
No.
Not even doing the second.
Child's Play 2.
Not doing the third,
Child's
fourth,
Play 3.
fifth, or sixth.
Wait. After 3, it changed.
It changed from Child's Play went to Chucky then. Yeah. Well, we're going to skip all of the Child's Play.
We're going to skip all the stuff that's worth watching.
And go straight to when Chucky has a cult. The cult. A cult. With air quotes.
A scary movie with a doll.
The cult of
Or
Chucky.
a shitty movie with a doll.
Oh, you said it, Chewy.
It came out this year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it came out.
And it's not a direct.
It came out late September, early October.
Okay.
It came out on Netflix in October.
It came out less than 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's not a Netflix movie though.
No.
It isn't? I thought it was.
No, it's a straight to Blu-ray. That
Okay.
Netflix got.
Yeah.
It wasn't produced by Netflix.
So
It was a little bit better than that.
I hadn't seen any of the
Oh, better, you say.
any of the Chucky movies, but for this, like up to this point, like I kind of vaguely knew what Chucky was, but I'd never seen it.
Well, this was a bad one to start with then.
Well, so before this, I watched.
There's worse ones than this.
I watched the first one, which was all right.
It's great.
It was okay.
It's a
It
classic.
was okay. A classic?
You're the one who also thinks Ernest Scared Stupid is worth watching.
No, I think it's the worst of the Ernest series.
But you would still watch it, right?
the worst of the Ernests.
We should do that next.
Well, so you think the original Chucky's like an actual classic?
Oh, I think it's a good slasher movie. It's pretty scary.
Wow.
Well, you
Scary?
if
If you're a kid, I can see it's
kid,
very
it's not as scary
like it's a
as
good
all.
idea to scare a
Matt,
kid.
when was the last time you were actually scared by a movie?
Well, I can appreciate something that is like paranormal. The first Paranormal Activity.
afraid of nothing.
I can appreciate what they're doing.
He's a man's man.
I ain't no fraidy cat.
Billy's afraid of no one.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
This is good for the visual for the.
The Spark of Madness podcast.
Ben's got
Visual storytelling.
He's got a he's got a skeleton. He's playing
Watch
with.
this, listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I could appreciate. As a kid, I could think of you would find it scary that it's sort of like Toy Story. That's like creepy serial killer toys. Instead, they come to life, but they're not like charming and go on adventures. They wake up and are actually a serial killer that want to kill people.
If you're at the age of the kid Andy in it, wait a minute. I just made a revelation.
Connection.
Yeah.
Oh?
Andy is the same Andy from Toy Story.
That's amazing.
And so he knows his toys are alive in Toy Story, but it doesn't faze him.
No,
He's like, these
Because
are
he's
nice
a
toys.
psycho.
it's actually Andy's dream, like his fantasy is like the friendly toys. That's where he goes to escape his
Yeah.
Because his dad's dead. His dad's not
Yeah.
around.
Woody. What's the matter,
Actually,
buddy?
really funny. That's a pretty
Chucky's
accurate
coming to get me.
comparison.
Somebody's poisoned the water hole.
You know, that'd be a funny visual. Someone should make a little skit of like Woody, like, "Hi, Chucky."
Do you want to be our friend?
You're not going to replace me, are you?
So, Aaron, you guys, what of the Chuckies? What is your familiarity before this
I've
one?
seen the first two.
Okay.
I've seen the first 4. And then, like, they didn't make one for a while. And then they made one.
Those are some good times.
So I remember as a little kid, early 90s, when I saw Chucky, Child's Play, the first Child's Play. This is a good story. Stand by, come around and gather for a little storytelling, my divine.
Story time. Yeah.
I remember as a little kid, I was in the so let's set the setting. I lived next door to my cousin's house, and it was some birthday party or whatever. And but it was a good little walk. It wasn't a great walk from my house to their house, but it was enough, to be scary. So we're in the
walking at any point. It's a scary walk, or
well, I'm saying at nighttime.
Oh,
At nighttime.
okay, yeah.
I mean, like it's still a good dart.
Yeah.
For a little kid. But I loved IU basketball as a kid, and we're downstairs in their basement, and I thought they're going to watch IU basketball. No, they were watching Child's Play, and they flip it back and forth when an adult would come in the room because it was a party, And so I'm seeing bits and pieces,
They're on to us.
and I'm like, "Don't change it." And I'm like, "You can leave the room, Ben. You can leave." But I wanted to watch it, like I secretly wanted to watch it, and I remember watching the whole like bits and pieces of it as a kid, intermixed with some good ball play. But I remember being horrified and scared to death. I remember like all of a sudden like the party was winding down, right, and all my family already left, and I'm still there. I was like, oh God, I got to walk home by myself, and that was the fastest I've ever ran in my life. And I didn't get any sleep that night. I looked at the bed because the last thing I saw was charred Chucky. Like he's all charred. So I had nightmares of smiley teeth Chucky at the end of my bed. It was scary, and I was disturbed by that as a kid. I was very scared of that. Scary movies like that. Alien was the same way for me, but as a kid, it's a very creepy concept. In addition,
for kids.
In addition, I had my brother had a My Buddy doll, and if you pulled up a picture of My Buddy doll,
I'll do it.
Do while I talk. It looked exactly like Chucky. I think they modeled the My Buddy doll after Chucky. So see, look at that.
Ugh.
Yeah,
There
look at
it
that.
is.
See, yeah, go to the yeah. See, it's exactly they modeled it after Chucky,
Yeah.
or Chucky modeled after that.
Which one am I looking at?
Whatever one. I mean, it doesn't matter.
This one.
Yeah,
Sure.
don't you see it?
It is kind of creepy.
Hey, my brother had it. And he
Jeez.
chased me around with it after I watched Chucky. He's like, he's looking at us, I was like, and I'm
Yeah.
stupid. I knew it wasn't real, but I got scared anyways. But
Yeah.
so Chucky had an impact on me as a kid. Scared me.
I'm sure. Yeah.
My goodness.
They
It's
do make him a lot creepier.
super
Chucky.
creepy. Yeah.
But
Is it any coincidence that they made him a ginger?
Well, one thing I kept thinking of anytime somebody said Chucky, especially in the first one, when he for whatever reason his hair seemed like, because the ones in Cult of Chucky are much more like they're already beat up for the most part.
I'm sorry, am I derailing the show?
We'll just
Keep
leave
talking,
it there.
Matt.
Just leave it there.
Run for your life.
No, don't let it stop you, Matt.
Okay.
Keep talking.
So Chucky was
For the listeners,
We're watching a skeleton dance.
it's absolutely hilarious.
So Chucky,
Chucky. All right, let's start. Let's actually talk about the movie.
I'm waiting. All
right.
You're the one over there not bringing it.
So we all saw the original, at least up to this point. Now the new movie, I don't know what happens in between from
Yeah,
like
because
how,
they jump right into it.
how they like have arrived at this, but basically Cult of Chucky is we start off by seeing grown-up Andy, and I'm assuming grown-up Andy.
It's the same actor.
Yeah.
It's the same.
It's the same little kid?
Same little kid from the first two.
Oh, now I feel bad because as we'll get to.
Because I was going to rip him a new one.
Yeah. It's
Well,
the same
you're a grown-ass man now. well, so
boy.
we see him,
Well,
and
we see why he chose a different career than acting, right? He's a great
but
realtor.
basically, I'm guessing there's a character from.
You should see him in real estate.
There's a
How real he is. Sorry.
Matt is like seething over there.
Keep going.
We see Andy. He's like torturing one version of the Chucky doll that he has, like the head of one that's
Hi,
been all
Andy.
nailed, and he's
It's
just
really creepy.
keeping it and torturing
I
it.
kind of like that scene though.
But then we cut to an insane asylum where I'm assuming a female character, Nika from. She had to have been in the last movie.
She was in the last one.
Yeah. She's in the insane asylum. Nobody believes her that Chucky was real and is killing people. And what transpires is that Chucky has learned to spread himself to all the other Chucky dolls,
Yeah.
and then also like corrupt human minds too.
Yeah.
And so that becomes his cult, even though there isn't like from the traditional word cult, like what you would associate it with.
people who
there
follow
are no
him.
like
It's
yeah,
the same. It's the same personality that he's spread.
Yeah.
Differently. That's different than any other Chucky movie. That concept, because part of and that breaks their rule, which is weird. Because part of the Chucky concept of the movies is that he can transfer he learned voodoo from the voodoo doctor, and he
the serial killer.
Yeah.
Even Charles
Lee Ray.
Yeah.
And the only his whole motives in the original movies were to find Andy to possess his body, because that's the only person he can possess the body with, because the first person he revealed himself to.
Right.
And they stuck to that rule, and I love that rule. And they kind of like this in this movie, kind of like, fuck it. Well, he learned it on a Google site, which is stupid. It's become a B movie at this point. You know what I mean? And
You mean it wasn't one before?
No, he was a masterpiece.
It was a B+.
So let's we're gonna do something slightly different from our normal structure of good, bad, and ugly. We're gonna do something called the good, bad, and the spooky.
Yeah, perfect. Ah! You're going to get me with that every time tonight. I can't see what you're doing. No, I didn't know.
That was sincere.
No, but I didn't know it was coming.
Oh, so you're a method actor, eh?
Yeah.
So let's start with the good.
Okay.
The good.
The good.
His hair was really well coiffed.
It was. They made him really creepy in this one. The doll has changed throughout the years.
Has it? Can you give us a point-by-point replay?
Well, the design has changed, and I kind of like how they slightly make it a little bit different to make it slightly. And this one was really. I don't know if I enjoyed this one a lot. I just thought it was. I like the first one because it felt really real. You know, it had a real. It was just creepier feel to it. And this one has it was a little too exaggerated, but I kind of liked it. I don't know.
I feel like I need to put a sensor bar over this finger of his.
You just
keep
barely
going.
can tell. Yeah, I liked. See, everything you just said that they've made it into a B movie. I liked this one even more because it embraced the campy stuff, as opposed to the original, which had I was not on board with the voodoo, how that happened. I thought that was kind of. I thought that was kind of dumb. I also think it's kind of dumb that a doll. Which they actually address better in this movie, can have strength. It seemed weird to me that
It's magic.
It just I get it, but
that's one of the flaws in the Chucky movies, and I always thought
Yeah.
about this. If Chucky was real, you could stop him in a minute.
yeah, just take away his weapons. Don't let him bite you.
Why the first movie I think works better is because no one knows that he's real, and he's more ninja-like.
Yeah.
And that's what
Yeah.
is creepy. That's what his advantage is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think that's what makes it scary to me. No
Yeah.
one believes you that this thing is real.
It's like Freddy.
Yes.
Yeah, very much
Which,
so.
to its detriment at this point, 7 movies in, like the fact that everybody keeps doubting.
You know he's coming back.
Yeah, jeez. Come on.
Well,
What's some other good from you guys?
Well, okay, so
I don't
thought
have many.
I thought the
What?
so I do.
Hold on.
So
This is like a just so nonchalantly. I have no good for this
So-
one.
I hated this movie.
wow.
I hated it.
Oh,
I can't believe you made me sit through this schlock.
Hey, where'd you get that?
That's amazing.
Someone coined that that phrase earlier. So here,
All right, so we'll save.
Sorry, spoiler alert. I didn't like
We'll
it.
save your spot for
I
the
have a
next
good-
round.
I have a couple
Okay,
good.
go ahead. Yeah, I've got a few.
I thought even though I'm not a fan of it, but I know who their target audience. I'm not Siskel and Ebert like, oh, that gratuitous violence is terrible for kids. The way that the death scenes were creative. I hate that shit. I don't like that. But for people who like that, I think that was good for them, for the target audience. Thought like how they used the puppet still and not CG and shit. I thought that was cool.
That was my one good, was that one rack focus shot where he's walking down the hallway. It's kind of midway in the beginning.
Yeah.
And it doesn't...
Did you guys laugh? Where's Mika? Like that was funny.
Well, I just like how it looks like they're still using a puppet, and it looks like a
But it
shot
works
where
for-
they took the strings out, and I was like, thanks for doing that.
It works for
If it
that-
wasn't the puppet, it wouldn't feel right.
No, but it works for that character.
Yeah.
It works for like an actual doll.
If it didn't look like a doll moving around, it wouldn't be right.
And I actually thought the main actress was really good.
She was all right. Yeah,
Now he
was fine.
I have a little tidbit of information.
Okay.
She's
About-
a Durif, right?
Damn it. Yes.
Ha!
She's who?
when I was watching her, I was like, wait a minute. Her face looks so familiar.
She looks
Nika.
way too much like...
and her name is Fiona Dourif. Brad Dourif is the voice of Chucky. He is Chucky.
He's
I
the
didn't
guy
even
from One
know that.
Flew. Yeah.
Yeah, he's also Wormtongue in
Can
Lord
you
of the
believe
Rings.
I've gone this long without knowing that?
And he's in Alien 3 too, or Alien Resurrection at one point.
Well,
I
he's
never
he's a
knew
good
Brad
actor.
Dourif
Yeah.
was the voice of Chucky.
Yeah.
If I did, I forgot.
Yeah, they did a whole little like bit like
But they look.
they did a One Flew of the Cuckoo's Nest reference.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, because
missed
like
it.
it's all in the psych ward, and so they
You're
were
right.
like, "Oh yeah, you've flown the cuckoo nest."
Oh, and that was the juicy fruit.
yeah,
But he's,
Yeah.
he's
We'll get to the juicy
He's clearly
fruit.
a good actor. But it's funny because when she was doing like this certain face, like, wait a minute, that must be his daughter. You know what I mean? Like, the whole time because they look a lot alike. They
Yeah.
look a lot alike.
Well, and he's like, he's done them all, right? He's just,
Chucky.
I can't believe he's kept. I guess he gets so much money from
Well,
it.
I think he just
Maybe he
enjoys
just
it.
enjoys it.
He enjoys the fun.
I would love to be in a bad movie over and over. I would do it.
Well,
You think at any
you
point?
embrace it.
You think at
Yeah.
any point he's gonna like? They'll do a version where he returns to his body.
No, because his body's done. He's gone. Like it's gone. So
Yeah, but they also
he
had
can-
rules before.
that's true. So
Voodoo.
That's interesting.
yeah. So that's his daughter. And okay, now let me. So while we're on the good, but I'm going to talk about why this movie is hard. Well, I'll wait to the bad for that one.
Okay.
But that the Mika character was in the Curse of Chucky.
Okay.
Which is actually supposed to be a better movie. It looked better.
Yeah, I'm glad
Now
we
it-
did this one.
Against all odds.
It was on. I didn't know the Curse of Chucky was a thing until I saw the Call to
Yeah.
Chucky.
Which one was Bride of Chucky?
Which one was the Bride?
Yeah.
The Bride of Chucky.
Okay. There was
That came out in 1999.
something like.
That was okay. That's when they took the campy route.
Was that the first of the campy ones?
That was the first of the campy one, and then there was the Seed of Chucky, which is terrible, which is worse than this one.
Really?
And then Chucky didn't exist for a long time until the Curse of Chucky.
Okay.
So I guess the Seed of Chucky was terrible, and that's the Seed of Chucky. They went out. They actually had what's her name, the actress who played the You Can't Stand in this. Probably You're Bad.
What?
What's her name? The in this movie.
Oh, Jennifer Tilly?
Jennifer Tilly.
Oh yeah, we'll get
Jennifer,
to her.
'cause so Jennifer Tilly played.
Oh.
Jennifer Tilly was in The Bride of Chucky, and she turns
God.
to a doll in that one. But in the Seed of Chucky,
Jennifer Tilly turns into a doll in
that one, and that one's really campy.
How is she in this then?
Well, in the Seed of Chucky, I guess, because they continue that storyline, they make a Chucky movie, so they make fun of themselves, but there's a real Chucky running around too, and there's a real Jennifer Tilly, and she possesses the real Jennifer Tilly.
I actually love that in this. I have that written down. Oh wait, are you Jennifer Tilly?
But so she possesses the real Jennifer Tilly
That's awesome.
as a doll.
Okay,
yeah. So
I take it all back.
That's why that's why Jennifer Tilly making fun. So they made fun of themselves, but she possessed the real Jennifer Tilly at the end of Seed of Chucky.
Well, guess what? People who haven't seen anything since the second one didn't get the joke.
No, and I think that's one of the major problems in this.
Well,
any other good before we go back?
It's going to be a short run.
All right, I'm just going to go through. Most of them are like just ridiculous lines. One is when he's like, when Mika first wheels in, because she's in a wheelchair, the 90% of the movie, which we'll get to in
Spoilers.
a second. She rolls in and she meets multiple Malcolm, who has multiple personalities. His first personality is obviously horny Malcolm, because he's like, you still got a thing for redheads. And then it's just like, oh no. And then it cuts to the juicy fruit.
Yeah.
They're just like, you want any gum? And he goes, juicy fruit. Smash cut to them like fucking in her wheelchair. Like what?
But here's the problem with that, right?
So ridiculous.
I had a plot hole problem with that.
You had a plot hole problem with the juicy fruit sex scene.
The plot hole.
Man.
So she can't feel from the waist down. Can she feel that?
Fair point.
You know what I mean? Like really, she can't. I guess that was the last one. The last one where Chucky's like stabbing her.
Is it waist down or just her
waist down?
I guess it would be leg. Where does the paralysis cut off?
I don't know.
Maybe it's just the legs.
Yeah, maybe she just had leg paralysis.
But I guess that was one of her advantages of why she could fight Chucky in the last film, is because she couldn't feel down. And Chucky's like, what's going on? You know?
Well, speaking of Chucky and his random lines,
nothing's working.
He when we first see him, he wanders up to Angela, who's the one that believes in ghosts and stuff.
Oh, Angela.
And she's kind of
how you doing?
She thinks, she hallucinates things or feels like she's hearing voices and stuff like that. But then she also simultaneously
Chucky
knows that she's wrong and has schizophrenia or whatever. Like she's aware of that. She's constantly doubting.
Have you ever heard that joke about this schizophrenic? It goes like this. Roses are red. Focus. Roses are red. Violets are blue. I'm a schizophrenic. And so am I. And the tour moves on.
So
there's dinosaurs on this dinosaur tour.
Back to so when we see Angela and when we first see Chucky, this is after he's woken up. The one that
is in the hospital.
God, this is so stupid. The whole movie is so stupid.
Thank you.
The doctor. Now that she is in the group, Mika's in this little small group session where they talk to each other. He pulls out a Chucky doll to like, I guess it's like exposure therapy. Yeah. I don't know. And then he somehow like uses that as his lazy way to help everybody there in the group cope with their issues, is use the Chucky doll. But of course, the Chucky doll gets up and wanders down the hallway and talks to Angela, and she's like, says some nonsense to him, and he goes,
"Are you real?"
Yeah, and he goes, "You fucking with me?" Like just very bluntly, and then he goes, "I'll be back for you," and then and then he wanders back.
I thought, kill you, bitch.
I thought and obviously this was a part of it the whole time, but they really played up the comedy with the like having the multiple Chuckies talk to each other. I enjoyed that.
Like, oh yeah, no, like, oh, you're really fucked up. You go ahead.
Yeah, oh yeah, you got the haircut. He deserves to go kill him. Yeah, like that was pretty funny. And I liked the. Oh God.
What are you doing, man?
This is just so stupid.
3D glass.
I made a huge mistake bringing the doll. A huge mistake.
He is not on task. It's like it's coming right at me.
I thought the weird stuff, the one that adopts the Chucky doll as her surrogate baby. Yeah. I didn't mind that I didn't mind the playthrough where she then like tries to suffocate him, and that reflects like what she did with her actual baby. That was I wasn't expecting that. I
kinda
thought
like
she
that,
was
though.
just gonna like nurture it, and then he was gonna kill her. But then how it played out was pretty good.
Okay, so I thought there were some really good ideas in this movie that just wasn't put together really well. Like the fact that there's multiple Chuckies. Is she hallucinating? Because I think if they would have had that, is she hallucinating that there's multiple Chuckies? You know, that would have been good. Because I was confused. Like, what the fuck? You know, there's one in the head, and you know, like I kind of like that idea, but it didn't
They
pay
had
off.
you wondering if you were crazy.
Yeah, I think they could have. I think they could have, instead of making actual multiple Chuckies, I think they should have like her hallucinate where there is a real Chucky, and she's seeing Chuckies. You know what I mean?
I
think that'd be better.
I like the idea that for a while we weren't sure which Chucky it was.
And then, we realized it's
and then
all-
it was both. It was all of them.
Yeah.
Like we weren't sure which one got switched and which one. And then
But they
that
didn't play
point
that
where
up.
we-
They didn't play that up, and I thought,
they did it for like briefly.
yeah, but I think that
Well,
that
up to that
tension would
point,
be better.
we were supposed to think, is it her killing the people?
Yes. And that would
which
have been
is-
interesting.
Which is
too.
a callback to the original Chucky.
Yeah.
Because the original Chucky, I guess I found this out today. The original script idea didn't have anything to do with voodoo, and actually the guy who still writes and directs this now.
Good for that.
Did not
the
like-
original script was
did not-
right.
Yeah, he wrote the original script. Did not like the voodoo idea at all, but he
Voodoo's
kept it, you know, because that was
idiotic.
the continuity. But like, I guess the original script was Chucky wasn't real; that it was the kid who was the murderer.
That's an amazing idea.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, it was him murdering, and like Chucky was,
Are you kidding me?
and we don't find out until the end, until like the audience is like confused.
How did
What?
That's I would have loved it so much more.
That is infinitely better than this.
The director didn't like that idea.
Does
he's
the
not- he's
director
he's a
not
good
like
writer.
good
He just-
ideas?
They wanted
They
to make
wanted
more
to.
slasher.
Oh my god!
They want to
No, they could have done slasher anyway.
but it worked. It worked. But like the
it
kid-
worked. What you just said is like 10 times better.
well, it
like
was-
a psychological
it was a kid-
thriller on top of it.
It was. It was a kid who was like,
They wanted to make a kid
and you wanted,
friendlier.
and as the audience, you didn't know if it was him or
Kid
you know,
slasher fight club
or the
mashup.
doll. You know what I mean? But it would have been a one-off movie. You know,
Soap.
but
Yeah.
but you know,
Methinks it would have been better.
But it was
the
more
first rule
yeah.
about
But it's
being
interesting
my
how
friend
but-
is to not talk about our friend.
Don't talk about Chucky.
Now kill him.
Kill him. The heart, Osborne, the heart.
Shoot.
They made it
The heart, Andy, the heart.
Remember to kill the director who wanted this to be voodoo.
Finish it.
No,
Gonna have a hell of a time.
I actually liked a good amount of this.
Really?
I liked just from a campy standpoint, like
Yes.
a so bad
Okay,
it's good
From
standpoint.
a camp standpoint,
Yeah.
it's whatever.
That's what I
That's-
had to get into that place, and the good thing was that they started that early.
if we're talking camp, I like all of the Batman movies. Come on.
Yeah. So, like, I love the fact that he went to go. You thought he was going to kill Mika, but he doesn't. He actually she tried to kill herself
And he's like-
in the bed, and he stitched her up.
They
to let
didn't
her
show him
survive.
stitching her up, did they?
No,
No.
they didn't. But she
Because
wakes
I was
up
like,
and
what
is-
happened?
She woke up and is like, "Wait, why am I still
And it
alive?"
says-
and it's like you're not dying yet. And
That-
instead, he goes and kills the ghost lady.
See that cut confused me because I was like, what? Why?
Oh.
Why did he do some voodoo magic?
I
I can't
loved
But
it.
she
tell.
lost a lot of blood to be fine the next
Yeah,
day.
that's true.
You know,
Have you
I
ever
liked-
given blood, Ben?
yes,
They take a lot of blood, don't they?
they sure do.
I liked
Quite
the just the imagery of the grave. Like a lot of the stuff didn't play out how I expected it to play out,
Which is good, I guess.
Like he didn't kill people immediately. Like which is what I was thinking.
It takes him like almost an hour to kill somebody.
it. Yeah. Um,
But here's a problem I had with
but
here's a problem I had with the killings and the people that the killing. It's not as gratifying for a killer to me to kill someone who's already insane. I think when you kill someone who is sane and freak them out, I think it's like they don't even they're numb to it. They're
well,
numb
that's
to
why
their own death.
The
doctor was good.
That's why he toyed with. He was almost trying to. He was trying to convert people. Like that was the whole thing. He was trying to, and then some people he was just like, he's a psychopath, so he's just going to kill them,
Yeah.
like the crazy lady.
Yeah.
But
the Asian lady was good.
yeah,
She was the most.
that So before we go to the bad, I'm going to consider this a good because this death was like the most elaborately stupid, nonsensical, unrealistic. Like, she's tied down into this chair and drugged, and you think he has like a million ways to kill her. And the one they chose to go with was him holding a compressed oxygen tank. Like, oh, what is he going to do with that? And instead, he just like spikes it like a football into the ground and shoots it up through a skylight that happens to be directly above the bed, breaking the skylight so that shards of glass will break in a pattern that they'll be big enough to then fall and cut her head off. Like, it's just the most, and so her head just like plops on the ground and rolls around.
That's what people.
Like,
that's what Chucky has become.
Yeah.
To the people, the cult. I guess you call the people who love Chucky.
Whoa, the cult is a metaphor.
Yeah, I think people like.
Is it about the environment?
well,
Can I?
that's gonna be a running thing forever.
Can I?
But no, the ridiculousness in this case was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was just so stupid.
No, we can bash on it. Of how like stupid it was.
Yeah, I mean, there are lots of movies I love that I will bash all day.
Well,
But if you think about all the horror movies that have like transcended, especially since the '80s when like all of them started,
all of
like
them
Michael
came out.
Myers
Yeah.
and all of them started. He's the only like slasher icon that has made it through this many decades with the same continuity
it's impressive
because they haven't rebooted
the
it.
same voice actor.
The same voice actor, the same
Yeah.
continuity, and they call back to the same. So they kept the.
Are you implying that that's what makes him great?
No, I'm just saying that's kind of impressive that there's still an audience.
See, yeah,
for
at
it.
least if you're going to keep doing it, this is the way.
Might as well.
I guess the last movie was better, a lot
Well,
better.
this just continued it. It is what it is. It's like a bad TV show that people will keep watching because they're invested and they like the campiness.
So let's go. To the bad.
Let's do some bad.
Yeah, I can't believe we
because
talked
as much as like the campy good, there's still like a crap ton of like unavoidable bad.
yeah.
Like all of it.
Aaron, I'm going to let you start because you you had no good. So
I had one.
tee off.
We'll
Tee
be
off.
quiet for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. This was so... I was not invested at all. It did not draw me in whatsoever at any point. I was so bored the whole time. I didn't even finish the movie.
Oh.
There have
So
been
you missed
two-
out. You missed out on the amazing
That's
ending.
one rule of Spook of Madness. That
There's
you
been
just-
two movies this year that I didn't finish.
What's that?
This and Death Note.
Probably for the best.
This is slightly better than Death.
Yes, it was slightly better than Death Note.
This is,
I'm with you. Yeah.
I think this is a lot better.
Yeah,
than
this was actually quite a few notches above Death Note.
I reserve this movie for the kind of bad that not a lot of movies actually make it into for me. It's so...
So bad it's
No.
bad?
No. It's
Wait
not-
a minute. Did you like this better than
Better than what?
Mother?
No. At least Mother had some interesting shots.
Yeah.
There's some good shots in this.
Here's my weird point.
Only a model.
There's a weird little area where a movie is so... Like, it's not even a terrible movie. It's just... It's not that
meh.
bad.
Yeah.
But for me, it was so mediocre that it's hard to care about anything.
Yeah.
Like, if it was worse, I would have liked it more.
See, I think what they. Sorry,
Go ahead. No.
I think what they did, and this is a mistake, and I think the move, like if you haven't seen, and because I was lost,
It does rely on continuity too much.
I was
The
lost.
continuity is a
because
big
I didn't
factor,
watch the last
actually.
two movies. You know,
Yeah.
if you haven't seen the last, like all of it, you know, all the other Chuckies, you have no idea what's going on.
I mean, they kind of fill you
You
in.
need to see the first one.
Well, you see all of them. to
I
get,
don't
like, to
think
get the
so.
Jennifer. I didn't know the Jennifer Tilly thing that she possessed Jennifer Tilly's body until I saw.
You kind of I mean it's
Yeah.
it's immaterial, really. Like
Yeah.
what are we really talking about?
But
like just random shit is happening all
but
the time.
I think
dolls
the-
controlling people.
But I
who
think
cares?
this particular movie was set up to make another movie. It wasn't a.
Well, yeah, they did. That's one huge bad. I think is
Yeah.
that the resolution at the end is terrible. Like it
Yeah.
felt, it was just like abrupt end.
Yeah,
like
and it broke all the
up.
Chucky rules.
Andy's locked into the the building. Everyone's going to think it was him, and everyone got away.
But that's Empire Strikes Back. Why do we love Empire Strikes Back and not that?
Okay. You really? All right.
Hey, Ben.
I agree with you 100%,
I know,
but
I know,
I'm just
Hey,
playing devil's advocate.
Ben. Do you remember in that episode of Frasier where Jennifer Tilly almost marries Frasier? No, it was an episode of Cheers. Do you remember that?
No. I don't, and I've watched all Cheers.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Cheers.
Yeah, she almost marries him.
A lot of cheers. Just like there's a lot
She
of
does?
Chuckies.
Yeah.
She
It was
must
when
be-
Frasier was thinking that he wasn't spontaneous enough.
Oh, and she was dumb.
Yeah.
I remember that episode.
You
So,
weren't put on this earth to think. Go on, man.
so in our
Tilly
graphic,
Moskowitz.
our lower third graphic for the bad is
Andy.
Every single thing about Andy was
Not
horrible.
great.
Every single shot, every single line he said, everything was terrible.
I don't know, I
He
can't-
is a horrific actor.
But,
I didn't realize that was the original kid, so I kind of feel bad, but I
Let's see
also
his-
don't feel bad
Let's
because
see his filmography.
he sucked.
Chucky.
Chucky.
We see his stupid cabin at the start after he went on this date where his date Googled him and kind of knows who he is. And he's like, fucking internet. Bleh. And then like the date ends and he goes home and he's got these like 800 animal trophies and this huge case of guns. And you think like it's one of those things where I almost wrote it down where it's like when a gun goes off or when you see a gun at the start of a movie, it's going to go off later, whatever that saying is.
Yeah.
Like he's got this huge case of guns. You think it's going to be like this shootout at the end, but he just hides a pistol in one of the Chucky dolls to then like. So his entire plan, once he realizes that there are more Chuckies in the world beyond the one he's got locked up, is to go to the insane asylum, ship a Chucky doll in a box to there that he has hidden a gun, one pistol in.
That was stupid.
And then, so his assumption is that not only that he's going to just get in and find the doll and then pull the pistol out and then kill that Chucky, but once he realizes that he's not going to be able to just walk in, like he showed up after hours and instead of just coming back in the morning, he punches a cop and instead of going to prison, they put him in the
That was bad,
asylum.
right?
That's terrible.
That didn't make any sense.
They lock him up, and then of course, the one Chucky doll shows up, and my great master plan to get the gun out, and then he wastes all the bullets on the one doll, and then he's out of bullets. It's over. Like all those guns, everything. Like he just couldn't use anything.
So
like, everything about his plan and nothing worked.
So I had a thought, which would have been awesome. I thought, okay, he's bringing the Chucky doll. Here's what he's going to do. He's going to possess that Chucky doll with the voodoo magic to put his body in that and be like the other, like the rogue
The
Chucky.
competing
Yeah.
Chucky. That
I
would've
think
been
would have
funny.
been so
And
cool.
he puts like a beard on it.
But he's got the shaved head, so he's automatically
Mohawk
different. And
into
I thought he's
your
going to
chair.
bring that. Maybe he's going to use the voodoo magic and put himself back into his own body. I thought that would have been a great idea.
That would have been that would have been better.
But
than
no, it's
this.
like
Better than this.
Yeah.
Than him getting locked in with, which was actually funny. I think was
He should
it
have possessed a Cabbage Patch Kid.
or like a GI Joe.
So here's another issue. So like, I have another question about.
Or how about this? Possess like a grizzly bear or like like not a fucking toy. Or like someone bigger and stronger than you.
Crap! I possessed myself. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sucking this flabby body. Ah.
What about a tank?
Yeah.
You know,
If it's an inanimate object.
what about a tank? You know, like our
Skelly back there. He's surprised.
Yeah.
If they, yeah.
What?
He starts moving.
It's a living.
Yeah, the rules didn't make any sense of this.
No, and I think that's where
the voodoo crap, like, and they explained they did it great when it was like, oh yeah, I got the spell. I actually loved that they were like, how'd you learn how to do this? Oh yeah, I found a spell on the internet. Like, I actually liked that. They explained
Oh,
it
you
so
like that.
fuck you, fans. We're not thinking.
You know
through.
what?
We're not gonna think it
That's
through.
some J.J. Abrams writing right there.
yeah.
I did want to call out one of the funniest things I thought. One of the funniest things.
It wasn't
that is
J.J. Abrams. There was no Millennium Falcon in this movie.
They did call back every single Chucky thing, I think.
Oh, boy.
Sorry.
But the funniest thing that was
Same writing.
just terrible was that
Hate you.
Chucky somehow, when Andy comes back from the date, when Andy comes back from his date at the very start, and he goes to his little vault and takes the Chucky head out.
Yeah.
The
I love that, though.
The Chucky head goes,
What are you doing?
"Didn't Rachel want to come home and play?" Like something like that, referring to his date.
Yeah.
And it's like, is Andy going home and just like having casual conversation about his personal life with the Chucky?
Probably.
head? Just like they're best friends.
I kinda like that,
this.
though.
It's like the sitcom.
They're
of-
obviously not friends.
Well, yeah, he comes home and tortures him, but
Sorry. That's the noise you made.
That's the
man.
noise he made.
But I don't know. I thought that was really funny. That it felt
Doesn't
very
call it
sitcom-y to me. Like,
Ew.
you're ruining my date, Chucky head.
I like that scene though. I liked how he had a vault. Like I like the imagery.
Why would he
of,
take it out of the vault?
yeah, a vault of Chucky's head. So obviously he can't kill Chucky, but he kills the other dolls. Are they still alive too? Who knows the rules?
There are no rules. There's just millions of Chuckies.
Yeah.
And they can spread and form a cult that
Isn't really a cult.
isn't a cult.
It's
It's
just
like,
like-
temporarily.
More like a cloud computing system.
Yeah.
So
it's
so
just
so he's made himself like
Send in
Brainiac.
the clones.
from Superman, who is a cyborg that puts himself in other people's like robots and stuff, and you have to kill or I didn't realize this. Ultron is kind of like Brainiac.
Okay, yeah.
Like kind of that. You had to kill all of them because he can put his soul, I guess,
Yeah.
in anything.
I do think it goes without saying that Jennifer Tilly was terrible.
Yeah.
But she's got a great ass.
No, she doesn't.
Thanks, Al.
No, she doesn't. She like licked blood in this, which was kind of gross. Like that was disgusting.
Yeah.
The
I'm glad we did this.
everything with this was a terrible movie. Everything with the doctor was horrible.
Yeah, he was bad.
He was like, obviously they made him out to be this
Douchebag.
it's gonna look good in my book.
Yeah.
But
He's like
all of his his strategies to help these people were just terrible.
Well, yeah.
Like, there's no way that's in the medical training to let the one who strangled her kid, who smothered her kid, have a delusion that this doll is alive. Like, that doesn't seem right to me. To take care of an inanimate object.
Yeah.
Should have given her a bag of flour.
Where was Patch Adams when you need him? Give a laughter. That will change her.
He cures things the funny way, not the medicine way.
And also the when he hypnotizes her, when he hypnotizes Mika, there was obviously the implication that he's hypnotizing her and he's gonna take advantage of her, but then he's trying to convince her that there's videotape that she did it, and what if you were it was almost like he was trying to frame her,
Yeah.
but none of that. Are we supposed to assume that Chucky was controlling him at that point?
No,
or
no,
what was he
no.
trying to do?
That's
He
some
was
Harvey
trying
Weinstein's shit. He just wanted to
He wanted to keep
Take
her there
advantage
forever
of
or
her
something.
and kiss her and touch her. And
Well, if you can get her to admit that she did it, she'll be there forever or something,
just
and then you can
do your
keep...
thumb, goof.
You think he has a potted plant in the corner?
He might. He's fertilized it too. Whoops! There goes another rubber tree.
Just
Where-
one more hypnosis session. Just one more. Just don't embarrass me in this hospital.
Don't embarrass me. There's this doll.
This is all.
Just believe it.
Just
The
believe
doll
it.
isn't real. The doll
Sit
isn't
here
real.
while
Don't embarrass me.
Sit here while I take a shower. You'd have a drink.
Kevin Smith, don't give away all your earnings. Okay?
Let me breathe.
Hire me back.
Oh my god.
Mallrats 4. Yeah, the doctor was terrible. I didn't understand any, like
He's
anything
more
he was
fucked up than I am.
I did think the deaths were pretty good overall, but
They have to be. It's the only thing. It's the only leg it's got to stand on.
Yes, although
Tell me about it.
but like all of the cult stuff didn't make any sense. Like I had no idea what the rules were. What like
Now
for a long
now
time
he's in a body. Now
for a
he's in
long
body.
time he was like controlling. Like who did he took over 2 people actually 3 if you include Mika at the end, but 2 other people.
Mika's Chucky now.
The surrogate mom one and multiple Malcolm, right? Mm-hmm. And he was like one of his personalities became Charlie for a while, right?
Is that right?
He was saying, "I'm Charlie."
No, because he was saying that was you're not real. Like I think that was just him being.
I thought he snapped out of it, and then Chucky explained that he had taken him over for a while. Oh, because he killed somebody. Basically, what I'm getting at is,
because okay, so one of his person. Okay, I that's kind of a cool idea. I missed that.
It's an interesting idea, but like from the cult standpoint, like he chose not to kill multiple Malcolm when he went into the grave, and then he came out and was like, "I'm creepy now." Like he was Chucky, but I didn't. What did that get him? What did those 2 people do for him ever?
I don't know.
I didn't.
Multiple Malcolm killed the nurse at the end, but like it was kind of like a throwaway. Like who cared? Like what does that matter?
Yeah.
They didn't do anything, right? His cult is worthless. His cult ultimately ended up being the multiple Chucky dolls that he had no influence on to make arrive on
They're not
the
even
scene.
gonna have Kool-Aid.
So that
needs
ain't-
it?
So like he could
He didn't do anything.
he can possess everybody if he
At
wanted
any
to.
time.
See, I don't like that. I don't like that.
And
That's
yeah.
not. It's
It
not
gives
that-
him too much power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why I like the original ones better because I think that's an ugly. I'll make
We're
that
doing.
look-
We have no ugly. We're doing the spooky.
The
we're doing.
spooky.
We're gonna end on positive. So,
Yeah,
in
well-
terms of like horror, you go ahead. Finish your thought.
Well, I think that is that, and the reason why it's so. I forgot about the spooky. That and the reason why it's so.
There's no rules.
There's no rules.
It's
Is
just-
lazy writing, and you had to watch other ones to get the stupid references, and this is a setup for another movie.
Yeah.
Which they said the last one was actually pretty good.
In a way, that's a good for people who are invested.
Exactly. I think that's why it's a bad film. You know, in terms of like that. You know, I think that's why
It's like The Empire Strikes Back turned up to 11.
They
Wait,
should have
wait, they're related?
They should have Irvin Kershner direct it. It would have been much better.
Much better.
He's
so,
good at directing sequels.
That's
So
how you do it. Sorry, Matt.
Yeah, go
it's
ahead.
just it's a point that Empire Strikes Back does not completely stand on its own, themat or story wise, and yet it still just stands on its own. How did they do that? How did they do that?
it's almost like it's good.
It shouldn't stand on its own based on its
Structure.
story. Yeah.
Well, this movie does not stand on its own.
No.
But we're doing horror Halloween movies all month, so we're gonna end on the spooky. If you're thinking of like one scene or like like what was something that if child Ben went down into the basement for a party and was watching this movie, what's like one of those things that would either scare you or stick with you? That
The thing I didn't like when he put his hand in the throat of the lady
strangled her
and
with
pulled
his
her tongue out.
with his arm.
I didn't like
just,
that. That
choked her.
That grossed me out, and I think I'd be more disturbed as a kid.
That
to
was
watch it.
disturbing.
I didn't like that,
Very disturbing.
but it plays to the people who like that shit. I'm not a what do they call that kind of gore? There's a name for it. It's the glorification of killing something.
Yeah,
I forget what it's called, but I don't like that in horror movies. But I get why people like it.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to make a horror movie, I wouldn't really have all that. You know, I like horror, I like suspense. I think that's why the first Chucky is better and scarier because there's a lot of suspense.
It's more like psychological.
Well,
Or
yeah,
like,
psychological, but like a lot of things didn't happen like right away.
Yeah.
and you don't know like that unknown thing, and like the build up to things. That's scarier.
We always fear what we don't
feeling
know.
is scarier than the grotesque violence. Like,
Yeah.
you're not scared at that point. You're just like, this is gross. I don't want to watch this.
Okay. Aaron? Anything?
Well, the only stuff I remember, I seriously cut it off like an hour into it. I was so done.
Wow.
Like, turn me over on this side. I'm done. I
Not good for the pod, buddy.
I'm
We're gonna have a talk later on.
No, I did it on purpose.
I know.
I could have sat
I
through the rest of
willfully
this movie.
chose not to subject myself to this
It was an
crap.
artistic choice.
You know, in order to appreciate the good things, you have to sit through.
I sat through
To start-
2/3 of the bad things.
To only appreciate the other Star Trek movies, you have to watch Star Trek the Motion Picture, bitch.
Okay.
You have to watch all 2 hours of that nothingness.
Yeah. Nothing
So,
is right.
Fury inspiring.
I would agree that the takeaway for this for me was
They're laughing.
the like gore. The gore stuff was like, oh, that was violent, or that was kind of shocking. They did a bunch where it was like splattery, like when Carlos, the
Yeah.
one employee, got
He
like
just stands
destroyed
there.
by the three of them in
He
different
just stands
ways.
There. Like, why would you stand there?
Like they did certain, like kind of
That's
some
dumb.
interesting effects showing like the drill going in
Yeah.
and some stuff like that. But the one that will stand out for me, like if I was a kid, this would be the thing that really creeped me out, was because like in all the Chuckies, I feel like you show the doll getting beat up, but it still seems like a doll that then like comes back to life, and it almost always feels like plastic. The thing that really stood out to me in this was when he gets the gun out of him,
Yeah,
and you see that there, and then he like destroys him. But that doll is like, and Aaron, I don't know if you made it to this part.
I did not.
You see like that Chucky now has like guts and blood and
Yeah.
brains and stuff, and he just like becomes like, oh my god, it's not like fluff and plastic in
gore.
there. It's like has innards.
Yeah.
It's like holy shit. And then like if you're a kid and then you look at
He's a
your
real
doll's man,
boy.
not only is it like, oh, is this doll going to come to life, but oh, is it really alive?
They play on that
Oh.
in the second and third Chucky.
Oh, great.
Because he becomes more. The more he's in it.
Oh, they do that?
Yeah, they do. They play it like, but they really take it home in this one.
Okay.
Like this one, the second and third Chucky, they played the home because the more, I guess the whole point, the more he's in that body, the more human.
That's
he
right.
becomes.
Yeah.
And so he's not as plastic.
And then he
anymore.
gets yeah.
But they
so
break
that's
the
what-
rules. Like he's like
They explain that he
yeah.
needed to
It's
leave
kind of
or
like
whatever.
aliens now. Like it turns to aliens like that. You know, once
Yeah.
the face hugger hugs you now.
Yeah, and then they explode and
So this is going to be a short pod.
yeah.
I mean, I had.
what more is there to? Go ahead, Aaron.
If we're supposed to say what one moment would have scared us as a kid.
Yeah, what's the spooky? What's the?
What's the spookiness? You know, there's one thing I did like that was spooky that reminded me of the first Chucky that would disturb me. It's when he bit the girl before he threw her in the trash. I like
Yeah.
that. That was spooky. And the feeling of people not listening to you, like in the regular Chucky,
Yeah.
trapping you down and like it's right there. That's scary. You mean
That is kinda-
I wasn't scared of it, but like if I was a kid, I'd be frightened of it. That feeling of no one's listening to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a very much a kid fear.
I think the shot that would have stuck with me was the rack focus shot where he's walking down the hallway. It's very unsettling seeing a doll walking down the hallway in concept.
Yeah.
Where's Mika?
I actually have a disagreement with you guys about liking the fact that it looked like a puppet.
Oh.
I felt like the creepiest parts because they did
The original.
in the original was
When he's
when
running
they
around.
used like
Little
little
person.
kids or little, and it
Yeah.
looked like it was
I guess
really
it was
moving
his
and really
little sister
alive.
of
Yeah,
the kid who played Andy's little sister.
it's just so,
running around the
all-
house. There's something creepy, but it's only creepy when
They
it's
must just like go home. If you go into any of that family's house or any of what's his name that had his daughter in this, the actor, like it's just like Chucky memorabilia everywhere.
yeah.
Hey, have you seen Chucky? Oh, that was a great time.
The gift that keeps on giving.
It's like Kevin Smith
See this,
always
Chuck?
talking about the shit he's done. Like, oh, Chucky, oh, that was a great set, and that was
Chuck.
that was a great
Chuck.
guy.
I don't know about the the kid actor thing, and I feel like if some character thing changes from shot to shot, it ruins the immersion for me.
Well, let's argue this point, because this is something we can argue with. I think you're not off, Matt, but I think you're not off either. And here's how I'm gonna unpack this and try to
eh?
explain this. So, how they did the original Chucky was the technology was limited, right? So when they showed him running, it's like a split glimpse.
Yeah.
And I think the combination of that split glimpse of it running, not showing too much, but
The
it's
mystery,
running,
yeah.
the real
makes it
quickness
scary.
makes it scarier. Now, if they showed a person walking, that was not clearly a person and not a Chucky doll, I don't think it would be as scary.
That's true.
So I think the way it was edited and put together, with the combination of something running real quick, is why it was scary.
Yeah.
And it had a humanoid
Limitations
presence.
are what let our imaginations
Now,
go
if they
wild.
let that linger on that, it wouldn't. I don't think it would have been as scary. But if it wasn't something humanoid running, and it was like a Muppet running around, I
Yeah.
don't think it would be as scary either.
Yeah.
So I think it's a combination of that hair shaking and like the humanoid, that creepiness.
Yeah.
So I think it was just the way it was edited.
That's the problem I have with movies these days is we can visualize anything now, and we do, and the imagination doesn't have to work anymore. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where a lot of our feelings come from, is where we imagine things.
Show, don't show. I think that's what
Show, don't show.
Well, show by not showing.
Hands up, don't show.
No, like, oh my god.
I don't know where that came
Don't
from.
get political on us. This is a,
popped
this
in
is
my
a
head.
happy show.
This is supposed to be a happy
Happy show.
occasion.
So, before we get off track, would you recommend or not recommend this movie to people?
No. 100% no.
100%.
I'm usually like
I want my 2 hours back.
I'm usually like a big I'll watch any Halloween related movie. Like I'd enjoy it. This wasn't even
I wish I would film your face during it. We got to film Matt's face when he watches bad movies. This is my impression of it.
Where's the notepad? Where's the notepad?
Would you recommend it?
Yes and no.
Whoa.
No.
This is a
no.
Let me explain. This is a complicated answer. Generally, no. I would say no. Don't watch this movie. But if I hate you, I'm going to tell you to watch this movie.
Oh, it's so good.
I have a list of movies that I will tell people to watch
It's in your
if I want them
arsenal.
to have a bad time.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And this
You're
goes
gonna
into the list.
weaponize bad movie recommendations.
Yes. You want to know what one of the other ones is? One of the only movies I've never been able to sit through the entire thing is a really bad horror movie sequel called Thanksgiving 3.
Okay.
The original Thanksgiving was like a bad home movie kind of thing, but it was schlock in a good way. And in the second one, they did a Kickstarter and got all this money. And what do you know? Budget doesn't make the movie.
No.
Oh God, there were Muppets and musical numbers, and I turned it off halfway through.
Just like Fly Me to the Moon. That's another one that you could watch.
So the Thanksgiving 3 with
There was no
Muppets
Thanksgiving 2, by the way. The
musical-
only movie to ever skip its own sequel.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's funny.
This movie is in good company. What about you, Ben?
Okay. As a person who likes movies in general, no, I don't think this is a good movie for the average person to see. People who like gory horror movies in general, yes, this is your type of movie. This bad B movie that you like, that's like senseless violence horror. People who love the Chucky franchise, yes, I recommend you've seen. And they probably already seen it,
They're the ones that are making this happen.
Exactly.
Like, we don't even need to tell
But for
them.
So you're responsible.
But for the person who likes, I don't. The average person, probably the people who are watching this, I don't recommend it.
I don't know. It's really
And maybe if you're curious to watch all the other ones, to watch this one, maybe. But I don't know.
I'm of the camp
you
that
got so much time to live.
I'm of the camp that Chucky's not even. It's you see the first one, you got it. Like
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah, but
point in the rest of it.
But if you're a
cares?
kid, if you liked it as a kid and had curiosity, I can see you want to watch these.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, that's almost like a separate.
yeah.
That's like if you're personally invested in this, then yeah, you'll want to go see the rest of it. But like, just to say on a movie level, I feel like, we talk all the time about how frustrated we are with like how Marvel's doing all their extension of movies. Like this, we just talked about the 7th iteration that was straight to DVD of Chucky, and we're arguing about whether somebody should go out of their way to see it. Like, and it was obviously terrible. Like, no, this was bad. It is not worth it.
Well, if you like Chucky, I think you can watch it.
It's a weird situation because there
I'm
are
with you.
times
As a regular person, there's other like.
It's like if you want to go see Land Before Time 27, you should see it if you really like Land Before Time.
No. If you really like, no, that's different. That's different. No, if you like Land Before Time, don't see any of the other ones.
just the first one.
It's like Babe.
Well, that's
2.
my argument.
It's like,
Yeah.
No. But Chucky doesn't take itself. Chucky's not really that great of a movie to begin with. But if you like that stuff, if you like if you like the cult of Chucky, like the actual cult of it,
I think we should elevate our recommendation for a horror. Like, we should elevate what we consider horror now. Like, because this is campy. This is the same thing. This is the same movie.
It is,
just with more weird craziness and more dolls.
I guess the last one wasn't as campy. I guess the last one, The Curse of Chucky, was more serious, which they said it was more like the original, which might be bad. I think, out of curiosity, I'm curious to see The Curse of Chucky. Just to see the difference, because it's the same director, same writer. But average moviegoer, I don't think so. But if you're really interested in watching Slock, I think you could watch this. But, I don't know. They had one jump scare that was as annoying.
I don't get it. I don't get what's up with me. But I will watch any bad Halloween movie. Yeah. I might not finish it, but for some reason I enjoy just turning them on.
I'm usually
to me, this
with
is a Godzilla
you.
movie. This is a Godzilla movie to me. Like, this is a Godzilla movie. Like, they're not good, but it's enjoyable to watch.
Have you seen Shin Godzilla?
Way. I heard that was interesting.
Yeah, I want to see it too.
I heard that's like he's like come back at different forms.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that at some point.
Yeah. When the next Godzilla movie comes out, we should do it.
Yes. Speaking of what we're doing next, we're going to do Cabin in the Woods next week.
Yes. One I can actually sit through.
Yes.
Yes.
And I know...
Okay, Cabin in the Woods.
We already have, like, serious polarization on that one.
Yeah.
We'll keep it to
I believe I'm the centrist in that one.
Yeah, you'll have
camp.
You'll be in the middle.
Malcolm.
That'll be a fun one. What's going on, Game Sharks? Fellas?
Yeah, we got to start doing spooky games. Ben and I were going to run through Castlevania, and then I just got the idea. We got multiple suggestions to do Friday the 13th for Nintendo.
It's a really bad game.
You should do it.
It's a really bad game. We should do Fester's Quest, too.
Did you play Friday the 13th?
No, but I
Did you watch somebody play it?
Yeah, I watched it. But we should do Fester's Quest.
That game is so dumb.
I know, but it's a one-off episode.
A one-off, eh?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's spooky Halloween.
Yeah, you might be right.
So keep an eye out for those. We got Cabin in the Woods next week. Then we're going to do, actually, our show not on Wednesday, 2 weeks from now. It'll be on the Monday, right? The night before Halloween?
The night before Halloween.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, we'll remind you next week. That'll be a fun one. That'll be really fun. That'll be our Halloween show. So
cool.
Tune in for that.
Yes. Boys and girls of every age. Wouldn't you like to see something strange? Watch our pod and we're all cool. Here on Spook of Madness Schools.